organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, we'll tell you how these people are working to change the meaning of the word slut. Plus, how one UI student is choosing to abstain from the typical college experience.
And in sports, find out which 6 Hawkeyes made it to the next level in this year's NFL Draft.
That's all coming your way next, right here on Daily Iowan TV.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Hello and welcome to your Sunday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm John Detcott. The University of Iowa student is holding a rally against discrimination at the Union Bar after she says workers there treated her unfairly because of her size. 21-year-old Jordan Ramos says she was repeatedly denied access to a dance platform because bouncers told her she was not pretty enough and looked pregnant. In response, Ramos is organizing a rally outside of the bar this Friday night to protest against the bar and raise awareness about size discrimination. For more on this story, be sure to check out Monday's edition of the Daily Iowan. And about 75 people participated in a march called Slut Walk on Thursday. Daily Iowan TV's Rana Mustafa tells us how UI students are working to change stereotypes and empower women.
The University of Iowa Feminist Majority Leadership Alliance and community members wore revealing clothes and carried signs as they marched downtown on Thursday to raise awareness for rape victim blaming.
We're really just hoping to do this event to build awareness of this in the community and talk about how this is still a problem, this is still something that needs to be addressed in our society, but also kind of give a voice to women.
The group held their first Slut Walk event at College Green Park, where they socialized and listened to speakers give speeches about empowering women and the use of the word slut in our society today.
Rape isn't about sex. Rape is about power. It's not anything to do with their clothing.
Carberry emphasized that the word slut is being used in the wrong way.
To me, it's offensive when it's used to imply that a woman is being wrong or immoral for her sexuality.
Rana Mustafa, Daily Iowan TV.
Leaders of the University of Iowa Feminist Majority Leadership Alliance say they hope to keep raising awareness for rape victims in the coming years. An Iowa City man charged with first-degree kidnapping in connection with an alleged assault while viewing a woman's apartment has changed attorneys. Pang Tang was originally represented by Ray Reel, but online court documents show he will now be represented by Eric Tyndall and Clemens Erdahl. It is still unclear why Tang made the change. He remains in custody on an $800,000 cash-only bond. And popular movies and TV shows often tell us that sex, alcohol, and college go hand in hand. But of course, that's not the case for every college student. Daily Iowan TV's Allie Wright tells us about one UI student who's chosen to abstain from the stereotypical college lifestyle in pursuit of something more meaningful.
Alcohol and promiscuity are two things that may come to mind when one thinks of a typical college town, and Iowa City is no exception. With dozens of bars in the downtown area, students are exposed to alcohol every time they walk through town, especially since many bars are within footsteps of the center of campus. But one University of Iowa student is going against the norm. She's staying away from alcohol and has sworn off sex until she is married.
But just for me personally, to feel safe and secure in a relationship, that's what I need. But I totally understand that that's a little strange and that most people don't do that.
Becca's plan could cause her less stress in the long run. According to a study by Georgia Health Sciences University, pairing drinking with sexual activity leads to unplanned sexual encounters, more sexual partners, and unplanned pregnancies.
I just believe that should be between two people for the rest of their lives.
She says while she doesn't feel pressured to give in to college expectations, she knows abstinence is not the choice of most students.
I need to know that my partner is in it for more than a physical relationship. I need that security.
And even if this choice isn't for everyone on campus, Becca says her faith motivates her to stay on course. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Allie Wright.
A North Liberty man faces felony drug charges after police found nearly 6 pounds of marijuana in his home. According to police reports, authorities found the drugs after serving a search warrant of Timothy Coleman's home. Police say the 21-year-old had the drugs shipped to him via the United States Postal Service. And it was a gloomy day today. To find out if tomorrow looks any better, let's turn now to Muriel Coney for your local weather forecast. Muriel?
Thanks, John. We'll get a bit of a break from the heavy rainfall we saw this afternoon, starting with tomorrow morning with a high of 54 and partly sunny skies in the afternoon. Temperatures will increase to 62 degrees in the evening. Looking at our extended forecast, slowly but surely temperatures are inching closer to the 80s this week. Tuesday will be 79 with partly cloudy skies, and you'll need an umbrella on Wednesday for the thunderstorms that will arrive. The storms will continue to Thursday with still very high temperatures for the majority of the day, and Friday and Saturday will maintain highs in the upper 70s. So it's a pretty nice week ahead, but remember to dress appropriately when you head out. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Muriel. It was a big weekend for Iowa athletics, and from the draft to the track, here's Daily Iowan TV's Ian Martin for your look at Hawkeye sports.
9 Hawkeyes are now looking for new homes after being drafted into the NFL. This past weekend, Riley Reif was the first Hawkeye off the board, going on Thursday night during the first round to the Detroit Lions. The offensive lineman became the third Hawkeye in as many years to become a first-round selection. Reif isn't necessarily expected to start right away, but Lions coach Jim Schwartz said in a conference call that he probably will see the turf at some point this season. Iowa's other notable story, kind of a negative one, at least for Marvin McNutt, the career leader in yards and touchdowns for an Iowa receiver, slipped to the Philadelphia Eagles in the 6th round when the St. Louis native was supposed to go maybe as high as even the 2nd round. McNutt, not the last Hawkeye picked in the draft, though. Jordan Bernstein took the somewhat dubious honor. He still did get drafted, as he was taken in the 7th round by the Washington Redskins with the 217th pick. There's only 253 total in the draft. Skins also the only team to draft 2 Iowa players, adding Adam Geddes to their offensive line, and all but 1 player, cornerback Sean Prater, were drafted by NFC teams. Now, there was a few undrafted free agents coming through the wires on Sunday as well. Linebacker Tyler Nielsen staying pretty close, now a Minnesota Viking, while tight end Brad Herman and offensive lineman Mark Zuzovic will join the New England Patriots together. And there weren't many Hawkeye champions at the Drake Relays this past weekend, but head coach Larry Wazorek said that he was still pleased with a number of athletes who may not have taken home a title, but still gave standout performances.
The Hawkeyes competed for the final time this year in front of their home state at the 103rd Annual Drake Relays in Des Moines, and there was much to be proud of, as many Hawkeyes finished their events in 5th place or higher. One of those Hawkeyes was junior Ethan Holmes, who finished the 400-meter hurdle in 4th place.
The 400 hurdles, I didn't run what I wanted to. I like to get under 51, but I was in lane 2, and it's kind of rough running in lane 2. But I don't know. It was a good race.
The Hawkeye title-grabbing news came Saturday when senior Troy Doris stole the first-place spot in the triple jump. And although he's a Drake Relay champion, he isn't satisfied just yet.
It's exciting for a little bit, but then, at the end of the day, coming in 48 hours, I got to get back on the grind, So, it's just something to work off. Like I said, Omar's a great competitor, and I can't get too comfortable.
Doris wasn't the only senior captain who made headlines. Eric Sawinski's performance in the sprint medley relay left everyone impressed when he helped the Hawkeyes get the 2nd place finish. But despite all the positive performances, this Hawkeye track team isn't pleased yet. With the Big Ten championships coming up, they're set on winning another team title. Annie Costable, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Now that's just the start of a big stretch for the men's track and field team, who has a big 2 weeks ahead of them as they prepare for the 2012 Big Ten Outdoor Championships in Madison, Wisconsin, where they'll be defending last year's Big Ten title. And the Drake Relays were not the only championships happening this past weekend. 4 Hawkeye teams played in possibly their final matches of the season. First up, the 26th-ranked Iowa men's golf team. The Hawkeyes entered the weekend as the favorites at the French Lick Resort in French Lick, Indiana, but left disappointed as Illinois took home the title, shooting 23 over par as a team over 4 rounds. Iowa finished in 6th place, 1 stroke short of 5th, behind Purdue. Oddly enough, though, the Hawkeyes posted just 1 of the 2 under par scores in the tournament, shooting a 1 under as a team on Saturday. And the Hawkeyes' highest finisher was Chris Brandt, who placed 10th individually in the competition. The women's golf team was at the same golf course for their Big Ten tournament this weekend, but finished just 10th. Senior golfer Chelsea Harris, though, finished a very respectable 7th overall. Men's and women's tennis finished their seasons as well with a bit more of a whimper. The women lost in the first round of the Big Ten tournament to Minnesota, although Sonia Molnar, in likely her final match at Iowa, earned her final career victory, which was her 100th as an Iowa Hawkeye. Very cool. Not any silver lining, though, for the men who lost 4-0 in Indiana in the first round of the tournament on Friday, capping a season of historical lows. Just a warning, these numbers are Charlotte Bobcat bad. The Hawkeye tennis team finished 1-22 this season, a school record for the men's team that has competed under the Iowa name since 1923. The team lost its final 20 matches of the season after a win in late January against George Washington. And a couple final notes. Baseball lost its first 2 games this weekend to Minnesota, effectively taking them out of the 6-team Big Ten tournament race, while softball took 2 of 3 games from Indiana this weekend, but will likely still need to win all of their final 4 regular season contests to have any shot at the NCAA tournament. There's no Big Ten tournament in softball. That is all from a very busy weekend in Hawkeye sports. John, back to you.
Thanks, Ian. Now let's take a look at some of the top headlines from around the globe. The head of Egypt's military says he will draft a new constitution as the country struggles to find stability after former President Hosni Mubarak was ousted last year. On Saturday, Field Marshal Hussein Tantawi said he would form a new government to protest the civilian government currently led by Mubarak's former prime minister. Presidential elections are scheduled for May 23rd. And roughly 25,000 protesters turned out to demand free and fair elections in Malaysia on Saturday. Police used tear gas and water cannons to try and control the crowd, which broke through barricades to protest in a public square within the capital city of Kuala Lumpur. Officials expect elections will be held in the next few months. And heavy rains that began on Friday caused extensive flooding in several cities in China this weekend. Thousands of people had to be evacuated as police say the storm caused over 300 mudslides and damaged over 100 homes. At least one person was reported missing. And before we go, you might remember this. It was a year ago today that Prince William married Kate Middleton at Westminster Abbey in London. Nearly 2 billion people around the world tuned in to watch the royal wedding. And while I personally still don't understand the fascination, we at Daily Iowan TV would like to wish them a very happy anniversary. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak preview of tomorrow's print edition of the Daily Iowan. Read about how the Iowa City City Council is stepping up efforts to buy local, plus how officials from Thailand are in Iowa City to learn more about strengthening local government. And that'll do it for this edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for watching and have a great night.